creepy statues, Gen Z curls, and a mysterious underground bunker. Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan may be one of the richest couples on Earth, but some things about their marriage are totally out there. On May 18, 2012, Facebook went live, making history on Wall Street. One day later, Mark Zuckerberg announced on Facebook that he and his long-term girlfriend Priscilla Chan were officially married. Many couldn't help but notice the timing of their marriage. From a family law perspective, this move would make Zuckerberg's massive Facebook stock his own separate property if they ever divorced, meaning Chan would have to fight to get her share of Facebook. Conspiracy theories aside, Zuckerberg maintains that the timing was a total coincidence. As he detailed in an anniversary Facebook post in 2017, the couple had the date marked a long time prior, and the IPO just happened to be one day earlier. For the newlyweds, this also meant that Zuckerberg had to cut their honeymoon short to be with his team. He wrote in the post, "I wanted to be with our team when things got rocky. Instead, I promised Priscilla that every year we'd have a honeymoon to celebrate our marriage." From his dorm room hoodie style to his business-first suit and tie phase, the CEO of Meta has gone through quite a style transformation. At 40, Mark Zuckerberg went through a complete fashion makeover again as he adapted a new look: baggy tees, gold chains, and Gen Z curls. It seems that the billionaire finally caught up with some more updated trends. In the span of a few months, he also managed to adopt a new identity as a fashion designer. He told the Acquired podcast in 2024,
I've kind of started working on this series of shirts with some of my favorite classical sayings on them.
He's partnered with fashion designer Mike Amiri to create his own line of tees while running Meta, developing AI-related products and raising 3 children with Chan. Meanwhile, Meta has faced multiple controversies. In January 2025, Zuckerberg planned on cutting 5% of Facebook's global workforce. In 2021, both Instagram and Facebook were linked to worsening mental health issues and fueling hate speech. Chan tried to clean up Zuckerberg's image in interviews by presenting him as just a regular guy and a loving husband, and that drastic midlife makeover seems to come from the same place. It makes him seem more approachable and human.
I am proud of how he's been handling all of this.
In 2023, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk had a strange feud over the launch of Threads, an X rival. That June, Musk took to X to voice his disapproval, writing, "I'm sure Earth can't wait to be exclusively under Zuck's thumb with no other options." One user joked in the replies about Zuckerberg's jiu-jitsu training, to which Musk said that he was up for a cage match if the Facebook founder agreed. This triggered a series of back-and-forth interactions between the 2 billionaire tech CEOs who finally agreed to face each other in a cage match.
Training hard and looking forward to it.
To prepare for the fight, Zuckerberg put an 8-sided MMA fighting cage in his backyard, which Chan was, obviously, not so happy about. Zuckerberg posted a screenshot of a text conversation the couple had, in which Chan reminded him that it was ruining the grass she'd been working on for 2 years. Zuckerberg asked his followers if he should save the grass or keep the octagon. While it's unclear which option won out, Musk at least seemed ready to move forward with the fight. He even promised his followers it would be live-streamed. But by August, Zuckerberg had decided to call it off. In real life, the big romantic gestures from a rich guy rarely pan out the same way they do in romance novels. Need proof? Look no further than Zuckerberg's commissioning of a giant statue of his wife. In August 2024, the billionaire unveiled his 7-foot-tall gesture of love for Chan on Instagram, sharing a shot of his wife sipping coffee and standing underneath a statue that looks identical to her. He wrote in the caption, "Bringing back the Roman tradition of making sculptures of your wife." Those in the art world have mixed feelings about the statue. It was made by NYC-based artist Daniel Arsham, and some felt Zuckerberg could have hired a local artist to support the art community. Others saw the statue as a reflection of the tech billionaire's taste and psyche. Art critic Max Blue told the San Francisco Standard, "It seems to me that Zuckerberg just wants to create a space of total unreality." According to The Knot, an average wedding in 2012 cost around $28,000. Those in Northern California would spend more than $32,000. Zuckerberg and Chan, they were nowhere near those numbers when they got hitched in 2012. At the time, Zuckerberg's net worth was $17.5 billion, but he spent less than half what average couples spent on weddings. Instead of renting an expensive venue, they hosted the wedding in-house at their Palo Alto estate. Chan wore a $4,700 wedding gown from Los Angeles-based designer Claire Pettibone. And for music, Green Day's lead singer Billie Joe Armstrong reportedly took the job as a gift for the couple, seeing as he and Zuckerberg were friends. Despite not spending a ton of money on their wedding, the day turned out to be extra special. Zuckerberg wrote in a 2017 Facebook post, "Priscilla and I wanted a low-key wedding, so we decided to make it a surprise and have it in our backyard." To make sure no one would leak the news, Zuckerberg sent an email to inform guests that he was throwing a party to celebrate Priscilla's graduation from medical school. He wrote, "When they showed up at our home, I told them we were getting married. It was a great day." It's not a secret that Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard. While he didn't leave with a fancy degree from one of the world's top universities, he did gain something wonderful from his time at the school.
But my best memory from Harvard is meeting Priscilla.
In a speech to the 2017 graduation class, he recalled launching the prank website FaceMash and being called to the ad board. Thinking he was going to get kicked out, Zuckerberg started packing for a trip home. His friends threw him a farewell party, during which he met the love of his life. Sounds romantic, no? Well, their love at first sight also included 2 full bladders. The couple met while waiting in line for the bathroom.
And in what must be one of the all-time most romantic lines, I turned to her and said, "I'm getting kicked out in 3 days, so we need to go on a date quickly."
While FaceMash wasn't integral in creating Facebook, Zuckerberg regarded the creation as one of the most important things he did at Harvard. He added, "Without FaceMash, I wouldn't have met Priscilla, and she's the most important person in my life. So you could say it was the most important thing I built in my time here." Zuckerberg and Chan's relationship was fragile at first and almost didn't go past a second date. Chan recalled their first date during an interview on CBS Mornings, saying, "There was a major red flag. I'm a Type A student. At the end of the date, he said, I have a take-home midterm I need to do, but I'd rather hang out with you." While Zuckerberg meant it as a compliment, it triggered an alarm in Chan. She said, "I was like, this guy is going nowhere. He's blowing off his homework." It may sound strange that the future wife of a tech billionaire initially suspected him of being a loser when they first met, but at the time, Zuckerberg was on the verge of being kicked out of his program. Given the situation, Chan had a point. She also had no clue that Zuckerberg's next project at the time, Facebook, would wind up changing their lives in ways they couldn't have imagined.
The things that you learn along the way are part of what makes you who you are.
Most couples would probably call for a divorce if one of them were to talk business in the delivery room, but not Priscilla Chan and Mark Zuckerberg. They were discussing foundation plans up until the last minute before they welcomed their first child, Max, in 2015. As Chan recalled during a 2018 speech, she was in the hospital, in active labor, at the same time they were planning the launch of their philanthropic endeavor, the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative. Needless to say, the couple announced the arrival of their child in conjunction with the launch of the foundation. In a letter addressed to their daughter, Max, the couple wrote, "As you begin the next generation of the Chan-Zuckerberg family, we also begin the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative to join people across the world to advance human potential and promote equality for all children in the next generation." They promised to dedicate 99% of their Facebook shares to the cause with the intention of bringing positive changes in the world.
But enough with the fun and games. It's time for everyone's favorite: work.
Relationship contracts are rare, but they certainly do exist. They're kind of like precursors to traditional prenups, and Zuckerberg and Chan reportedly had one when they were dating. After Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, he moved to Silicon Valley to develop Facebook. Chan followed him to California, but not without negotiating a few terms for herself. According to Sarah Lacy's 2008 book, Once You're Lucky, Twice You're Good, the couple had a series of negotiations before Chan agreed to move. One rule they set was that they would have at least one date night and spend a minimum of 100 minutes each week outside Zuckerberg's apartment or Facebook's headquarters. While many may find it odd to establish this kind of relationship agreement, marriage and family therapist Kelly M. Roberts explained to the New York Times that it can have certain benefits, saying, "Each party has a chance to draw a line in the sand or negotiate. It's not based on economic earnings, but on relationship capital." After all, a cross-country move is a big deal, and it was something Chan did for the sake of their relationship. And Zuckerberg agreed on drawing clear lines. He told Quartz, "When you're doing a partnership like this, it's important to set aside time for your personal partnership."
Nice. What else is coming?
Hawaii may be a part-time paradise for Zuckerberg and Chan, but the same could not be said for local residents since the couple's arrival. In 2014, the pair began acquiring lands on Kauai. In 2016, one of Zuckerberg's shell companies filed a lawsuit against local landowners to pressure them into selling. When that move went public in 2017, Zuckerberg faced intense backlash for what was seen as an attempt to colonize the island. In 2020, a Change.org campaign launched by a native Hawaiian to stop Zuckerberg from colonizing Kauai received more than 1 million signatures. The couple has since become more involved with the local community by making political connections and supporting non-profit organizations. But even their philanthropic approach couldn't ease the social and economic impact they brought to Hawaii's oldest and smallest island. A local resident told Wired, "The people who were born and raised here can't afford to live here, and we have this whole new economy that is basically serving at the rich people's whims. I don't know how stable those kinds of jobs are." As of March 2025, Zuckerberg and Chan are reportedly building a $270 million Hawaiian compound, which includes an underground bunker.
No, I think that's just like a little shelter under, it's like a basement.
A little shelter.
According to Wired, workers have been subjected to strict NDAs that prevent them from sharing details about the construction project.